how to answer this question, but I think the way he talks, he think he's Superman, right? And he is very disrespect, not just with me, with everybody. Extended, right? We never talk directly. The times he wants to talk with me, is always somebody in the middle. But at the time we talk directly in person, everything.
Earlier today, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez met with Turki Alalshikh in Saudi Arabia. But what transpired before the meeting was not at all what boxing experts had anticipated. The two had a furious argument and verbal altercation just before.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev.
Kovalev was older. He
Billy Joe.
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power.
This time, Canelo initiated the conversation by accusing Terence Crawford of using derogatory language in his most recent interviews. "You're an insane person. How do you phrase things in your interviews?" He asserted Crawford has been appearing in interviews where he has treated him and his former rivals with little to no regard. For some reason, Crawford feels that Canelo's opponents in his 62 wins are nothing compared to him when it comes to boxing skills. This infuriated Canelo, who feels that his resume is far superior to Terence Crawford's.
And he's not even in my weight class already. And, it's a lot of things there doesn't make sense. And plus, at this point in my career, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. And I agree. So,
We'll see in the ring, Canelo said as he completed all of these things. Crawford's only comment was to tell Canelo to wait until he felt him in the boxing ring before making any noise. "I don't have to knock him out. I just have to beat him. I'm not going in there looking for the KO could happen. Yes, definitely.
I have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
It's a tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always have respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
When I analyze him, I find that he's a small, big guy moving up divisions. These bigger guys are slower. They might hit him, but he sees it at the last second. This was stated in an interview with Manuka Kopian, the former undisputed welterweight champion and current world boxing super welterweight title holder. Crawford clarified that the Mexican fighter, who is now defending the super middleweight titles, had faced more formidable opponents like Dimitri Bivol.
Terence Crawford Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing right now today.
Your fight would do bigger numbers than Benavidez Canelo.
100%. African American, Mexican, they always made for the biggest fights in history. I can easily go fight Virgil Ortiz or Fundor, whoever, to make a quick buck or a quick little penny, but I'm looking at bigger picture.
Having competed in 2 lower weight classes, Crawford thinks his stature and speed will help him. He's not a machine. He's human like me. And he bleeds like me. I come from a lighter division which is quicker and more accurate. If he gets struck with a clean shot, he doesn't notice and might get harmed. Although he does not rule out
which boxing is deeply rooted in the African-American culture. So I do think that fight does a little bit more numbers than Benavidez versus Canelo.
This is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight. Will be talked about for years. When I'm gone, they'll talk about, man, you remember Crawford coming up to 168 and fighting Canelo? 2 top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world in their prime, fighting each other.
a knockout. The American fighter said he will not enter the fight with that goal in mind. Instead, he will try to wear him down, using a technique that could be far more successful coming from a lower weight class. I'm not going to enter the battle believing that I can't harm him, but I also won't enter the fight believing that I'll attempt to knock him out. If the KO occurs, I'll accept it, of course.
Canelo Alvarez thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he either grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say what he say.
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder.
The American concluded that everyone is anticipating the bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, even though it isn't official yet. Everything points to this battle happening after the summer, or at least that's what Turki Alalshikh has in mind following the Mexican fighter's May 3rd victory over William Skull in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, unification of the super middleweight category. Crawford has discussed this match and asserts that he has the equipment needed to complete it.
Is that your real weight class? And
My real weight class is
it's not Canelo
168.
trolling.
I just want to know if I'm too small for 168. A lot of people my whole life been doubting me, but I know I'm smaller than Canelo. I know I'm smaller than these guys.
Yeah, but Canelo's pretty short too. Canelo's
Yeah,
your height too.
we're the same height. We're the same height.
Exactly, for a 68-pounder. But he is a freaking boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a thick.
Terence Crawford is currently living his dream and making sure everyone knows it. In addition to working out hard to gain muscle and improve his skills, he is also traveling and doing interviews in preparation for his eagerly awaited fight in Las Vegas in September. There are differing views about this battle.
I'm easy work. I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
While some fighters and fans think that weight classes are in place because it would be too dangerous to move up against a bigger, stronger opponent, others think that Bud Crawford currently possesses an elite skill set. In the meantime, Canelo Alvarez is focusing on a different challenge. He is fighting William Skull in Riyadh on May 3rd, and if he wins, he will become the undisputed super middleweight champion for the second time, which is exactly what Bud Crawford wants.
On Crawford looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight, and it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
Next question. Canelo's
I definitely do use that as motivation, because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am. To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thank.
The undefeated 41-0 boxer is giving this fight his all. Simply consider it. Crawford is going up 2 weight classes to square off against Canelo Alvarez, who is also not your typical undisputed champion. If he succeeds, it will undoubtedly be legendary. In a recent episode of Pound for Pound, which featured Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, Terence Crawford showed his confidence in himself despite knowing what he faces.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are you gonna say? You know what I mean? This was a tough fight. You know, the top people ranked at WBC.
I feel like I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might get the size, the power, but I got the better skills, boxing skills, he said in response to a question about the Arduous task he set himself up for. Henry Cejudo stepped right in and asked whether it would be more of a cat and mouse game, suggesting that Crawford might need to move a lot and play it smart. However, Crawford quickly shut that down and said he wasn't running from anything.
Fighting each other, so I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, and I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, I see that weight class. I want to become champion.
Next came the parallels. Triple C brought up Canelo's history of knocking out opponents, including Sergey Kovalev, the World Boxing Organization's light heavyweight champion at the time when Canelo was moving up from middleweight, but Canelo knocked him out in the 11th round. Crawford responded, "Don't disrespect me," with a laugh. Also mentioned were James Kirkland, who had won by TKO in the 6th round of his most recent fight but had lost to Canelo in a 3rd R.
At 168 pounds, Terence Crawford Canelo Alvarez. You got people saying that, you know, Crawford can stop Canelo. You got people saying that Crawford's too small, Canelo's gonna run over him. What's your thoughts on that fight?
It's a good fight, you know, 50-50 fight, you know, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so, I mean, it's a good fight.
47, 154, it's 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little difficult because you gotta, what are you gonna have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster, I don't know, like, you gotta add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that, so it's a little harder, but I don't know, you know, we'll see on fight night how.
Bud Crawford was unimpressed, to put it plainly. Don't get me wrong, Kovalev made a significant statement after pointing out that he was older. Canelo does have a lot of strength, but none of the men you mentioned are as skilled as me. I don't mean to offend any of those fighters, but my skill level is far superior. The 37-year-old clarified the bold assertion. So, how does Bud Crawford envision a bout with Canelo Alvarez unfolding? He acknowledged that he thought Canelo was a strong fighter, but he also believed in his own abilities. The fact that people question me only makes me want to fight more, and I'm watching him. The Nebraska native concluded, "You're going to get hit. It's a fight. He's going to get hit too. It'll be good." I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. And the Omaha Southpaw wasn't worried about the size difference because I've always won against bigger opponents.